You done burping over there, Tara?
Oh, did we start?
Yeah. I asked if you're done burping.
Listen, buddy, it's private. Private information.
Hey, what's going on? Our fellow and future millionaires, welcome to the Millionaire University podcast, where Tara likes to do burps. At least you're not breaking into cars today. That's good.
You know, today we're talking about non-negotiables, and one of my non-negotiables is going to be you can't share private stories that I have not signed off on.
In life and in business, we have goals. You have the goals that you make for the year, for the month, maybe you have a 5-year goal, 10-year goal, life goals. At the end of the day, every decision that is made in the business have to meet these 3 criteria. And what I found is any time that I feel off-centered or something's not going well in the business, maybe you and I aren't getting along, it's usually because one of these 3 things are not in alignment. And then it all dies.
Okay.
Or your soul dies. And it doesn't matter. Right? And this has happened to us at different times. And I think it happens to everyone. I do think these 3 things are pretty universal for most people, depending on where you're at. And I'm constantly repeating to my team, we want to help people. We want to make money. We want to have fun doing it. If those 3 things are happening here at Millionaire University or as a result of what we're doing at Millionaire University, things just feel right. So for example, there's been a lot of times we've talked about launching a program or a course, and we haven't done that yet. And there are times when I get this feeling of anxiety, I'm like, oh, we haven't done this. But it's a matter of priority and focusing on certain things and getting traction and adapting and adjusting. So while we may not have yet launched this program that we've at times talked about and said maybe we'll do sooner than later, when I look at these 3 things, I'm like, are we helping people? Are we making money? Are we having fun doing it? The answer is yes. And then I say, if we were to launch that program today or a week from now or even a month from now, would we be doing these 3 things? What do you think?
No.
And we both know that in our heart of hearts. We know that we can currently help more people make more money, have more fun if we do these 3 things. And if one of them slip, like if we stop having fun, and I'll get into, once again, more of what that looks like. It's not just having fun. Whee! It's all fun! But
it's fun to make money. It's fun to help people.
They all play off of each other. Absolutely.
And then they're just straight play where nothing's involved with business whatsoever.
But let's be honest, when you and I aren't connected, is life fun?
When we're just robotic, here I am doing the work, and there's not a whole lot of interaction. It's just...
And I can get distracted as well. I can be thinking about all these ideas of how much money we can make and the things we could do. And you sometimes get in that zone and you get so wrapped up in it. And it's good to be in that zone. I like that zone, but not 24/7.
Well, we've learned that these things are important because of mistakes that we've made in the past. Sometimes people will say, oh, you guys are wise, you have this wisdom. And I always say you get wisdom by first being stupid. Yep. So Justin has ideas and he has big ideas. In the past, he would say, let's do this thing, and we would do it. And then before you know it, we are spread way too thin. We're at each other's throats because we're just exhausted. We're not having fun. Sometimes we're making money. Sometimes we're losing money because we're acting in haste. We might be helping people, but our family's falling apart. We've learned these things the hard way.
But by not doing something, I don't feel fulfilled. So we took some time off, and that was great. I think there's a time and a season for everything. So it was good for a while, but there came a point where I think we both recognized, okay, we might have made enough money, but we need to do more to feel fulfilled. Yeah. So this is all part of finding that right balance or that combination. And it's never going to be 100% perfect balance. Some people refer to it as counterbalancing. And it's okay if you feel off. I feel off all the time. But it's acknowledging that and then asking yourself, why do I feel off? And there's a good chance it might be one of these 3 things.
Well, these 3 things are very vague. I mean, help people. There is a lot of nuance within helping people make money and having fun. And so that's what allows it to be specific to you, your lifestyle, what you like, what you're interested in.
And it's intentionally kind of vague because the truth is in life, how many things have we had happen in the past few weeks alone that were not expected, that are very huge.
That were not fun.
Life-altering. I mean, I had surgery last week. I didn't know that was going to happen. A hernia surgery. We've had other things happen that we'll probably bring up at some point that have totally altered dynamics and things in our life. The truth is you can't control the past. You can't control what's going to happen in the future. You can set goals and try to reach certain things. You can't control everything, but you can control how you react to it. You can control the way you respond to things. You can control what you are attempting to do in the present.
So essentially, this is to help also keep your state of mind in a healthy place.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking about you doing this and we'll have conversations. You know, should we do this? Should we hire this person? What about this program? What about, there's so many things you can do. And the list is endless. It's really helpful when you bring these things back to us. Should we do this? And you'll be like, you know what? Does it help people? Does it make money? Am I having fun? Usually helping people and making money, those two we usually cover pretty well. People put a lot of time and energy into those. But having fun, that's the one we have to remind ourselves of. If not, we're going to burn out and we're not going to enjoy being together. I feel like this changes my state of mind, state control, because you feel like, oh no, I'm missing out on something, or, oh, we got to do this thing. We have to do it. Or this is an amazing opportunity, or I'm not doing this. I'm not doing enough of this. And I feel like it kind of just shifts my emotional state where I'm going, okay, am I having fun doing this? I'm not. I should probably go back, because what's the purpose of this?
You would think that these things are limiting us. We have to be doing these things. But the truth is, it actually allows you to really go after your life's mission is the thing, or reach your potential. These are like guardrails. I always have these things to fall back on, because what happens, I think we sometimes will have these big goals and then we freak out. It's like, oh, we go to fight or flight. Our mind starts to tell us reasons why we can't do it. So we come with this whole story of, I can't change the college education system or the way people actually learn things. I can't compete with that. Like, who am I to think I can do this? And that's crazy. It's going to be too hard. And what's going to happen to our marriage or our family? And got to reach this goal. And it doesn't matter as long as we are helping people, making money, and having fun doing it. And the goal is to help as many people as possible, make as much money as possible, and to have as much fun as possible. So the goal is to actually maximize those three things as well at the same time. And sometimes the way that we can help the most people today is going to be different than the way we can help the most people. When I say help the most people, there's like a width and a depth to that. When I say width, I mean like how many people are we going to help? Sometimes people are like, I want to help 10 million people. Okay, that's great. But how much are you going to help those people? Maybe they hear one podcast episode or whatever. Now, that's cool. But when you go to depth, that's when it'd be really cool to do more high-level coaching and education programs. Eventually, someday, just this vision I constantly have this physical location. And who knows, by then, maybe nothing will be physical. It'll be virtual. I don't know. That's okay. That's what we can adapt to that. While it's vague, it allows you to adapt and adjust. We're not in any way saying don't have other very clear, measurable goals of what you're going to do to accomplish these things. But it's like you have your goals within your goals within your goals. And at the end of the day, as long as these three things are happening, then I can be zen, be at peace with what we're doing. And it makes me happy. I feel fulfilled. We're helping people. I just love helping people. I can't help it. You're the same way. We go to family reunions. Sometimes we have to, okay, we're not here to necessarily just fix everyone's problems or help everyone, right? But it's just very natural to us. We feel alive. We enjoy it. We like to make money. Let's be honest. So for you and I, this has evolved over time. If this was back in the day when we first got married and we started our satellite dish business, I don't know that help people would be on the top of my list here. Our number one focus then was to make money. That's where we were at. That's what we needed. We thought we were going to make millions of dollars. I thought we were going to make millions of dollars that first year. I did a pretty good job selling you, so I think you thought it as well.
I didn't know anything, so I was like, wow, this is going to be amazing.
This guy's great.
This guy's awesome.
Wow.
What a dream.
Long story short, we end up with $120,000 of debt. We're living in this house with a bunch of guys, and it was fine. But it's just kind of crazy. Not what we wanted. Brogan slept in the closet. Not the lifestyle we're going for, right? So
we needed Millionaire University. We were just out there throwing stuff at the wall going, is this going to stick? I mean, we learned a ton. No regrets, but there's a better way.
Point being is helping other people wasn't like our top priority. Helping ourselves, Maslow's hierarchy of needs basically says, like, if you can't take care of yourself, first you got to take care of your basic needs, and then you can help other people to a stronger degree. So that was top priority. It was all about me going out every day in the heat. Was that fun? No, it wasn't fun. So fun wasn't our top focus. Helping people wasn't necessarily our top focus. I know it sounds selfish, but it may be helping us, helping our family.
And we were helping people. It's not like we were out taking advantage of people, because that's not fun. Nobody wants to do any of that. I mean, you were saying that yesterday. That's pretty trashy. Helping people has always been the goal, but it wasn't necessarily like a conscious goal.
It wasn't the main focus. Now, would I have been selling satellite dish if I thought I was like hurting people really bad? No. Like I wasn't out
trying to take advantage.
Someone paying me to break someone's kneecaps, I'm not Tanya Harding. I guess part of what we want to do is not bash on people either, right? That's
poor gal.
Okay,
She's run through the ringer.
We're not quite to zen yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to be out robbing banks or anything unethical or wrong. Was I helping people? Were we helping people? Yeah, we were helping some people save a few bucks, but essentially it's like switch from Dish Network to DirecTV. Did I totally care? Not necessarily, but helps them save a few bucks. It helps us make some money, then I'm all about it. Back then, helping people wasn't necessarily the main priority, but now we're in a different spot.
You think about it, it really was one of the biggest things that motivated us to start a business, because one of the very first dreams I had was making money and being able to buy things for our parents, give them a kitchen. The first time we ever got any money, which was not a whole lot, we just kind of went and, splurged it. But we always wanted to help people. So actually, it really has been a huge core principle of what we've done. It's just the way in which it has manifested has grown over time. And a lot of times people, when they start a business, it takes time to realize how amazing it is for any human being on this planet to pay their bills and to pay their taxes.
Amen.
And to just take care of themselves and their family. That's a big deal. I think it's underrated a lot, where people are like, oh, I'm not making the money, I'm not doing this. You are a human being who's alive, caring for others, caring for your family. 10 million props to you. That's impressive. But what's cool about starting a business is you give other people jobs. You bring money into the economy. You're talking with other people. You're creating, you're spreading all this good energy and ideas and thoughts and knowledge out into the world. It helps all of us. So it's pretty cool to realize that helping can come in many different layers, many different ways. And you're very helpful when you have a business that is helpful to others.
I know I shouldn't say this on the air, but I'm really turned on right now.
Every time.
Isn't she amazing? Holy cow. This is kind of like an outline that I wrote, and you're going a whole, and it's so true. You're just giving me chills. Beautiful. I'm going to cry.
Okay.
And then I want to give you a big hug.
Oh, a big hug.
Big speech.
Well, think about it. When we first started, we would watch this show called Turning Point. It would talk about these people who had this idea to help other people. We loved that show. So helping people has really been a huge proponent to everything that we've done. Even though sometimes trying to help people is really punches in the gut. There's a lot to learn in that space.
It's true.
But it's also like one of the best parts about it.
But that helped us the most in a lot of ways, really.
Yep. We need to learn those lessons. Still do.
So I love it. Tara brought a whole different perspective. I mean, the truth is we always did want to help people. But specifically in the thing that we were doing, the number one goal was, what am I most capable of doing? What can we do that will make us the most amount of money, the fastest? That's where we need to focus today. And yeah, ultimately the goal is eventually to be able to help people, but you got to help yourself before you can help other people. Mm-hmm. Take that into consideration. If you're in a spot where you need money now, you need it today, the helping people part may not be your top priority. Of course, you want to make sure you're not hurting people. You want to help people. Mm-hmm. Highly encourage that. Don't sell drugs. Don't do drugs.
Don't do anything illegal, bad, damaging to the people and the environment.
Yes, don't steal. None of that, right?
That's not
cool. You want to do good things. But for me personally, we are currently to a spot in our journey where it's more about fulfillment. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, we still like to make money. We still love it. We still want to have fun. But helping people is up there pretty high. So that is part of the reason why we do what we do. That's why we record content. That's why we bring on different people. We want to help people.
So one more thought with helping people is usually people have different problems that they want to solve. Justin has always been solving problems of how can you do this faster? How can you grow? How can you reach more people? How can you make more money? He's quite brilliant with strategies and growing and seeing opportunity. His mind has always been, how do I solve this problem? Like we'll literally go to a restaurant and he's like, oh, if they could just do this, it would really solve this problem, which would help them to help more people, make more money, have more fun. It's interesting because he has certain problems that he wants to solve in life. It's almost like you feel it, like this life mission. And with Millionaire University, I'm like, you have to do this. You love business. You're passionate about it. You're talking about it all the time. I've seen what happens to you when you're not doing it. You've got to do this. And with me, it's like there's certain problems I like to solve. I like to focus more like, how do people work? How do they function? How do they enjoy their life? How do they find happiness? How do they work through the crap? And so it's really interesting to take different people on your team who want to solve different problems and help people in their own way. And so for you, what problems do you like to solve in life? What are you naturally thinking about when you don't have to think about anything? What are the things that your eye catches, that your mind's always thinking about, that you're trying to check out? A lot of times that helps you see, what do I want to do? What am I interested in? How do I want to help people? And that can be very, very rewarding because the problems that you want to solve usually are the problems you want to solve for yourself, but it's very rewarding to help other people solve. Just another thing to think about.
That's beautiful. I could keep going on about that, but let's move on to make money.
Make money.
Here's the thing about making money. Someone might be listening, might be like, oh, you guys already have enough money. Like, yeah, we have enough money to live, survive, to live a great life, pretty much do all the basic things in life that we want to do for the rest of our life. We don't have to ever work again. That's great. There's lots of different reasons why making money is important. Number one, I think it's just fun to make money. I don't know what it is. Call me a bad person. I'm just kidding. No, making money is not bad at all. I shouldn't even say that. I don't know how to say that.
No, it's not good or bad. You're funny with money because you love to make money, but you don't really like to spend it on frivolous things. You love to buy investments. You love to have things that have an ROI of certain numbers, of certain strategies over certain years, but it's not like you're out buying yourself fancy shoes and clothes. And you like money because it gives you options. You love to show up at a restaurant and a vacation or a certain situation where someone needs something and you love to be able to go, yep, we got it. Let's do this. But as far far as the frivolous stuff, that's fun. We enjoy that. But you just like to make money because of this resource that gives you all these options that you can create and work and do life with. And you love that freedom.
You kind of touched on this. I hate not having options. I hate not being able to do what I want when I want. I feel constrained. I don't like it, no me gusta. So if I want a surfboard that I'm going to put in the garage and not use, I want to be able to go get it.
Yep.
If I want to go on a trip, I want to go.
If you want avocado on your burrito, you want it.
If I want avocado on my burrito, I'm good. Get some avocado.
There's certain things where I'm like, you sure you want this? Like, I want it. I'm like, oh.
I'm like, yep.
He wants that freedom. You get whatever you want.
I like to be able to get the food I want. I mean, we don't eat like super crazy fancy French food. Some people might think that we spend a lot of money, and we came home and your brother's using our truck and we didn't want to take it from him, and it's getting a little torn. I mean, if he's listening, it's good. It's good. The paint's a little, he'll probably listen to this. That's okay. So we're like, should we get a new car? And at first I was kind of like pushing to get like a cheap car. And you kind of started looking at Teslas. And anyway, within a couple of days, we went out and bought a Tesla with cash. And we thought about buying a Cybertruck, but we decided to hold off. See, we are conservative with our money.
Yeah, to each his own, right?
We didn't decide to buy a Tesla and a Cybertruck within like a month from each other. We decided to hold off. But yeah, I do not like not having options. So to me, money, like there is a quote unquote selfish component. I want to get what I want, when I want, how I want. To me, if you can get to the point where you have like a few $1 million, you have that money invested, that can pretty much get you 98% of all the things you want in life. Whether it's like the basics of being able to take care of your family, pay the bills. So there's like the basics. And then there's, okay, live in a nice place, have a nice house, have a nice car. I'm not talking about super fancy, like several $100,000 car, $10, $20 million house or anything like that. But that's next level. You can go on any trips you want to go on. Maybe you don't stay in the business style $20,000 ticket, but you go eat what you want, you do what you want. And that level, like, I think is very obtainable for just about anyone. Then you have a whole nother level. That's when you can get the jumbo jet, the $20 million house on the beach. You can go hang out with Taylor Swift for a day in person.
Oh, is this one of your dreams?
No. I don't feel like we totally care about that. Now, maybe there will come a point when Millionaire University does become a $1 billion company and we are traveling a lot and there's a justification there. If you're an environmentalist, I don't want to hurt the environment. I'm just saying there might be that justification of, oh, maybe we do get a private jet or something like that. Sometimes when you have a little more money, you do things that you didn't think were a desire before become a desire. So I'm just being honest. I never thought we would get a $60,000 car, for example. Now it's like, oh, why not? The Cybertruck, 120 grand. And we're like, why not?
But what about money within the business? That's really the tool, the resource, the thing that is huge.
Totally. So here's a couple of bullet points. Like you mentioned, I like having money because we can help people. I like it because it's like a game. I like it because we can get what we want, do what we want. So there's a lot of personal kind of selfish reasons, but also, let's be honest, something urgent happened. Some of the things have happened recently in our household and whatnot. Having that resource is so nice because you're not limited. So we really do enjoy using money as a resource to help other people and to accomplish other things. Money buys convenience. It buys security. It's so nice to know if we have a medical situation, that can be taken care of. If anything happens, we should be okay within somewhat reason. But the number one reason why it is essential and critical that we make money in the business is so we can continue to grow the business. Money can basically get you the things that you need. It gets you the resources. It helps you hire people. It helps you market. A lot of you right now are probably listening to this episode, are probably listening to this podcast, are probably listening to our voices right now because we put some marketing dollars behind what we're doing and it either got in front of you or someone else shared it with you that we put money in front of. Because at the beginning, not a whole lot of people were hearing it. That was a resource that we had and we were able to leverage. I'm not saying you need a lot of money at the beginning to start your business. You absolutely do not. We had zero when we started. You can generate money by efforts, by time equity, by putting in that effort. You generate the money and then you have your effort that's building, you have money that's building, you can build out a team, and then that continues to leverage. And that's where you get exponential growth. Once again, I'm going down a rabbit hole because I just love talking about this stuff.
You mentioned here, it's like you can get the tools that you need. There are all kinds of great softwares and tools and resources that you can use that can save you time in your business, help you be smarter, understand your KPIs, make sure you're running your numbers. And then you can pay coaches and, go to mastermind meetings, watch things, learn things. Those have been huge to help us see, oh, okay, here are the holes in our business, or here's what we're thinking, what we're doing. And that right there is huge in helping your business grow.
So for example, if we continue to spend the money that we spent last year on the business without making any money in the business, how long would the business last?
That's called a black hole, and it's not going to work out well in the long run.
Exactly. So what's cool about now where we're at is recently we got to the point where for every dollar we're spending, we're making back like $1.20, which isn't huge, which isn't insane, but we spend money and we make more money back. So that's pretty cool. We'll essentially spend a certain amount of money to get in front of listeners, to get in front of new people to listen to our podcast. And then we have sponsors on our podcast and we have people contributing to the podcast in different ways. And we essentially are getting paid for every dollar we spend to get in front of new listeners, to have new listeners listen to the show that then hopefully continue to listen, continue to share, and can be future clients and customers of anything we have to promote in the future, which also helps them because hopefully they're taking advantage of those products or services or programs and improving their life. And it just is this perpetual machine that just keeps going and going and going. Bottom line is we need to be making money in the business. If we're not, then we're not going to reach our goals. We're not going to help more people. The more money we make, the more people we can help. Truth is, for us personally, right now in our situation, once again, this is not your situation per se, but we are taking all the money that is made in Millionaire University and investing it back in to Millionaire University. So why are we doing that, Tara?
Because we can.
Because we can, yeah.
And it's tax savings and we want the company to grow and we're self-sustainable on our own. And so let's just put this all back into it and let it grow.
100%. We covered on the other things, but also it's the best tax savings possible is to not make any money.
Put it all back in there.
And that might sound like, oh, but you're not making money. It's true, but we don't need the money to survive or to live a great life. We're investing the money in this asset that is continuing to grow and grow and grow and become worth more money. And so someday when we harvest it, which is another horrible analogy, it's kind of like Amazon. They took many years of losing money and then probably breaking even type period of not losing a ton, not making a ton. By the way, I don't know all the history of this. I'm just giving examples.
You're just making stuff up.
To where now they're just a huge, insane company that everybody uses. That's kind of the goal with us for Millionaire University. In the past, we've had different businesses. This business, we need to make money for our family to feed the kids. Then the next business was more like, okay, we're not starving. We have some money, but we want to make more money. We want to go to that next level in lifestyle and be able to help people. And now we're at the spot where we literally don't need money for anything except that private jet Tara wants.
No, thank you.
And the main goal is to help people make money because it's fun. And I just like making more money. You know, the more money you have, kind of fun. But the main reason we want to make money is to continue to grow the business, to continue to help more people. And it's fun helping people, right? Mm-hmm. Which leads us right into the next one. Also
to keep in mind is a lot of times people think, oh, I don't have money. And so I'm at this disadvantage. You guys have this money. If you don't have money, it can be a great advantage because you're smarter. You have different parameters to work in. So a lot of times you get more strategic, you get more intelligent. It pushes you in ways where if you have money to spend, sometimes you get a little lazy and you're just kind of throwing money around.
100%.
We've done that sometimes where
oh my gosh.
We sold our other business and we're like, I don't really want to do this. I'm just going to keep it easy. I'm just going to throw some money over here. And you get a little lazy. And sometimes we're like, man, if we had that back in the day when we didn't have any money, it's so motivating and it's kind of fun and exciting. And you're just out there going, we need to make money stat. And it pushes you to be the person you want to be when sometimes you wouldn't do the things you have to do in order to pay the bills.
How much money do you think we've lost in lazy money? I'm not talking about lazy money that you invest, but money that you're kind of like, oh, I'm going to throw money at this. And anyway, millions. Point is, Tara's 100% right. Sometimes I'm like, if we didn't have a few $100,000 to invest in MU in the beginning, would probably be at about the same place. Especially if we were more motivated. We weren't traveling the world and stuff.
I mean, we'd be working more. We'd have to hustle a lot more.
For sure.
And it's nice not to be in that state forever. There are seasons. You don't want to be burning both ends of the candlestick your whole life. But it does really put a fire under your butt. It's just like, let's go.
Yes.
And so there are perks.
That is a really good point. I was listening to this book when we were in Australia, and he was essentially talking about how he only works a third of the year, so many days out of the year, and takes off this many days. And he said that's actually important to him and his clients and his students and his team and all these people. He's like, I have no problem with that. Because sometimes as an owner, you might feel like, oh, if I'm not working, then they're not going to want to work. But the truth is, no, I'm just showing you where you can go someday. We have been where you are. We have put in the work. We have put in the struggle, the back and forth. And our goal now is to help shed some light on some things that might help you get to where you want to go a little easier, a little faster, a little better.
Don't jump out of the boat. Don't run away. Don't be like, I can't do this, get overwhelmed. Some people can't even think about the category of starting a business. They instantly kick it out. That's okay, because maybe it's not for them. But there are people who really want it and don't ever get the opportunity to go for it because there's too much going on in their head. We're like, gosh, man, this is overwhelming. I don't have money. I don't have this. And we're here to tell you it's not luck. You really can do it. And the more information and knowledge that you have with the right balance of getting things done and not avoiding work by learning, the more you can realize this really is relatable. I mean, you listen to us and you'll be like, oh yeah, they're great couple idiots, but they're totally doing it. It's very doable. It's just hard work and facing yourself and learning, getting smarter.
And some people might argue that, oh, it is luck. There's luck has to do with it. But the interesting thing is what I've noticed is the harder we work, the more risks we take. When I say risks, I mean calculated risks. The more we put ourselves out there, it's more of a put yourself out there type risk and not be afraid of the feeling that you might feel if you're, oh, what's going to happen? The more of that we've done over a longer period of time, the luckier we tend to get. We have made some investments that are like, oh man, that was
lucky.
There's some luck there. But it's like if we never took the action to have the money to make that investment and made that investment.
To have the mindset to see the opportunity to take the risk.
So the truth is, it becomes a numbers game after a while. If you put yourself in enough situations, you get enough knowledge, you keep learning and developing and growing, you're going to get pretty lucky. So luck is just literally the fact that you are here right now, have the opportunity to have this technology to be able to learn from other people. And I'm not just talking about, you're so lucky. I almost sounded like, you're so lucky to be able to be hearing my voice. That's not what I mean. But you live in a day and an age, you have a smartphone or whatever you're listening to this in, and you can just access this information.
It's huge.
That is luck. That is fortune.
You and I went this week and saw a movie called Young Woman and the Sea. If you haven't seen that movie, it's exceptional.
So good.
It's basically this woman who wants to swim, and not even that long ago, it was considered indecent that women were out in the ocean swimming. They don't have the hearts for it. They might die. They can't even handle the physical things that happen when you're exercising. Women haven't been in sports. I was watching that movie going, I am standing on so many brave women's shoulders, and I don't have to worry about most of what happened in that movie as far as being a woman. And so I love the day and age that we live in. And I think it's incredible what opportunities that we have. And so, yes, we are very lucky to live in this day and time where back in the day, I couldn't even go in the ocean and swim. And we live by the ocean, where now it's like, that would be funny to even think about. And it wasn't even that long ago. So yeah.
It's mind blowing. Luck is what is happening to you right now. What you do with it, that luck is up to you. To create more of that luck. Should move on to have fun doing it. We've kind of, once again, we've touched on this a lot, but let's just make sure we leave no stone unturned. What do we mean when we say have fun doing it? I already said it doesn't mean it's like, let's go on a ride. This is so fun all the time. Are we having fun doing it? So for me, when I say that, encompasses a lot of things. First of all, it means that I'm enjoying the work I'm doing. Maybe I'm not enjoying all the work.
You don't enjoy everything, every aspect.
Yeah, I don't enjoy every ounce of everything I'm doing, but relatively speaking, am I doing something that I enjoy? Like, it's kind of fun here talking on the podcast. Is all the setup that fun? Not necessarily. That's why I have Tara do it.
Wow.
The goal is to do as much things that you enjoy as much as you can. They call it your genius zone. So for me, when I'm just like here talking, I love it. It's awesome. Let's talk about me and my genius zone.
Oh, you want me to tell you where your genius? Got it. Yeah. My genius zone is being married to Justin. Just kidding.
It's a rare skill.
Yeah.
Most people cannot do it.
It's a special skill. Justin loves networking. He can talk to anybody. He'll call you on the phone. He'll strategize. He's constantly strategizing. He's running numbers. He's thinking of the future. He's planning for the future. He is constantly cutting things out of, we're doing this. Nope, we're not going to do this anymore. It's not doing anything. What's the point? Is it part of these 3 criteria? No, let's get rid of it. But mostly I would say strategy, systems, vision, communication. It takes a lot of communication to let people in on your vision and then make sure it gets done and then have the accountability for it. And so those are kind of your areas. Paperwork, no.
Yeah, paperwork, I hate. There's things that I absolutely hate and are not fun. I'm not having fun doing it. Passwords, I hate. But I also hate having to ask Tara for them. So it's kind of there's a conundrum there. We got to figure that one out.
It's called keep your own passwords in your own spot.
There's just a part of my brain that is dysfunctional.
He can think of how to create $1 billion business, but he cannot write down a password. It's the wildest
I literally told myself like 5 times in the last week that, okay, I'm just going to have a notepad and write down a few basic passwords. It's hard because sometimes my computer remembers. Anyway.
Yeah, totally.
Moving on. have fun doing it. The goal is to do as much as you can. So then once again, if your main focus is making money, go make that money. Knocking doors in 110-degree weather was not fun. But once again, it was more fun than the thought of being on the street with our 6-month-old and feeling like I totally let down my family and my wife. That would be like the epitome of feeling horrible in my life for me personally. Some people might be okay with that, but hey, don't want to judge anyone. Yeah. But for me, that would be the ultimate failure, and the pain of that would have been so much greater, and that's what just kept me moving at that time. Having that been said, you won't catch me today digging ditches, doing paperwork, knocking doors. I threw digging ditches in there just because, I don't know. It's like... It's not something I really want to do. I don't like doing yard work.
Or someone else might love it. Be outside,
someone might love that.
Digging, growing, all the things.
But then the question is, are you making money? Are you making good money? So you want to take all those things into account. When we used to teach flipping houses, we had a member of our mastermind group. She's like, oh, but I really like fixing the houses. I like doing a part of that. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You just got to choose if you want to do that or be a millionaire. Because if you're the one swinging the hammer, I don't know many hammer swingers that are millionaires, and there's no judgment there. It's just a pure fact. If you want to be hitting all these 3 components that we're talking about, or whatever your own components are, what makes the most sense for you? For me, ideally, it's being in my genius zone as much as possible based on the situation that we're currently in. And the truth is, even we have scaffolding, as Tara often refers to it as, within what we're currently doing. How many hours of content or audio have I edited that I probably prefer not to? We weren't in a time, situation, place where we had the editor. Now we currently have 2 or 3 editors that we can have help us edit content. We'll still occasionally do stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Today and yesterday, we put out an ad recently, and we've been interviewing people to bring on an assistant. So we'll see what happens. We might end up hiring both of them. Double assistants. You get one, I get one. It'd be great.
Assistants for everyone.
The goal is we want to continue, number one, help people. We got to make money to hire those assistants. And then we hire them. It can help us do more of the things that might be more in their wheelhouse and less in ours. You know, Michelle, who we talked to today, she's like, I'm kind of an introvert, so I prefer to do things where I don't have to talk to people all the time. And I'm an extrovert, so I like talking. Tara, what are you?
I'm in the middle. I'm an extrovert introvert.
An extra introvert. She's an extra introvert. You get more fulfilled by this kind of stuff too, by being a part of the content creation.
I love to teach. I love taking concepts and breaking them down and having epiphanies and changing someone's mental and emotional state. I love that.
Just don't make her call you on the phone.
But I hate talking on the phone. Oh, no, thank you.
So once again, that's a part of the growth. You're like, okay, well, why? Why do I do that? That's another podcast. What else does have fun doing it mean to you, Tara, or to us?
Sometimes when I think about the things I really like as an adult, you're like, what do I love these days? Because it does change over time. I think as you get older, look for more fulfilling things, but then you also look for ways to just keep things really simple and fun. And we can lose that over time when you're taking care of kids and trying to work and exercise and do all these different things. And sometimes the way I learn what's fun for me is, what drains my battery? What things do I do? And for someone, they're like, that was amazing. And I'm like, that was the worst. I don't enjoy that. What things make me feel alive? It took some energy, but when I'm done with it, I'm just talking. I'm just chattering because I'm like, that was so fun. And I did this. And it might have been a stretch out of my comfort zone. So a lot of times fun things, honestly, are a bit of a stretch outside of your comfort zone. You gave the analogy today of the Olympian who works really hard and then they go and they see what they can do. They push past their levels and they see where their boundaries are and then they achieve these heights. And to me, that's fun. So sometimes the day-to-day may not be very fun, but that small percentage of things that are like, wow, I can do this thing now, or I have this ability now, or I have this capacity now, or I have this resource now. And resources can come in the form of money, talents, abilities, wisdom, knowledge, people that you connect with, understanding what's going on in the world. What was hard about not being in the business world space after we sold our last business is you kind of feel like you're getting old and you're not learning, you're not staying on top of your game. And so pushing yourself out of your comfort zone kind of helps you stay on your game, helps you stay relevant. And I think that's fun. I think that's fun to be involved and aware and learning. I
think that was one of the hardest times of my life. Being to a point where we had, quote unquote, made it financially. We had done businesses. We knew how, quote unquote, hard it can be, but also how horrible it felt to feel like you're getting old. And by getting old, I don't just mean day by day, but
not even that old.
Not really like progressing a ton, not learning a lot. I didn't listen to a lot of business or growth podcasts at the time. We did some marriage and relationship type stuff. But just feeling like I'm going to be like one of those grandpas that doesn't even know how to use the new technology. I don't like that feeling. It's a feeling of helplessness and just feel off to me. And so it was hard. It was uncomfortable. It was actually way harder than starting from the beginning. Because when you start from the beginning, you're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and let's go, anything can happen. You can become a little tainted if you're not careful. We've talked a lot about how do we not throw the babies out with the bathwater.
We've been talking about this where we're going around gathering babies because sometimes things happen and you're just like, chuck this out and get rid of the babies and the bathwater. And so we find ourselves lately going back and going, let's pull that baby back in. That was great. It was just the way we thought about it, or we couldn't deal with it. We didn't know how to handle it. We weren't mature enough. We weren't smart enough. And so as we start this business and our kids are getting older and they're teenagers, we find ourselves going around gathering these babies going, that was awesome that we did that. Let's think about it a different way so we can keep all the good things about it and then rub off the rough edges around it.
I got to the point where I don't even like business. I love business.
Yeah, it's like, that's just a jaded voice speaking right there.
There's so many things that you love. It's easy to throw that thing out with the bathwater. And for me, it's more like I love business, but what are the things that I've done in the past that maybe didn't serve me as much as they could? And part of it may have been based on our situation or what we just didn't know we didn't know. How can I take those things? And that's part of the, once again, having fun doing it. I love creating content. I love talking about this stuff. But if I did this 80 hours a week, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I'm working like 80 hours a week on anything in the business, I'm probably gonna start to feel pretty crappy. Sometimes you just gotta stop and smell the roses. It's like, well, why are we doing this? Why are we helping people? No one's happy, no one's at peace. Yesterday, kids finished their online school and we're just like, let's go get ice cream. We did the healthy ice cream, because we want to feel good too.
Right.
I can sometimes be, especially with the kids, kind of rigid with program. Like, hey, you got to put in your 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day. And I'm trying to teach these things. But at the end of the day, who cares if he's not having fun too?
Yeah, who cares if you have $2 million in your bank account when you're not even happy, when you could have one and your happiest could be because you have some balance.
We wouldn't change anything per se going back because we love where we're at. We love what we learned through it. Having that been said, there's definitely probably times that we would go back. Let's just take a breather. Sometimes those 15 hours we put in on a Saturday because we felt like something had to happen or the call that had to be taken. For what to all of a sudden get to where you have millions of dollars and you're sitting in a mansion and you're like,
what do I do now?
What do I do now? Yeah, just enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, be good with yourself. So this is all part of the having fun doing it. If Tara and I are disconnected, that's not fun.
That's a pretty big indicator for us. If Justin and I are not having fun together, that kills a lot of things in our life. And so that's one of our big, are we having fun? And if we're not having fun together, then
if you're not having fun, then you're not having fun. You know what I mean? And that's not fun. And it's just all self-perpetuates. It's all horrible, right?
Lame. And there's deep fun. I'm helping people and it's really fun to learn and I'm pushing out of my comfort zone. And then there's just like simple, no-brainer fun. Because a lot of times in entrepreneurship, you're using your brain a lot and you get done at the end of the day or whatever time you stop and you're going out and hanging out with the kids and you're just like, Mah. Even just this week, I was like, I feel like I just want to have some simple fun with my kids. And when they were little, it was pretty easy. We play these little games. They have fun so easily. And so this week I was like, let's go back to some of that. So I follow some accounts on Instagram where they're just playing these fun games. There's this one incredible account where they go around to senior citizen communities and they'll play these really basic games with them. And these people will just light up. They're so simple. And I was like, why don't I do that with my kids? Because sometimes we're always having these big conversations or how you doing? How's this? And sometimes they just want to play. So we pulled a few jars off the walls and off the tables of decorations, kind of these big jars. We're staying at an Airbnb and I may have to replace these lemons, but which is totally fine. And they're these plastic lemons. We pulled them out and we just were trying to throw them from across the room into this jar. And whoever got it won. That was so fun. It was so simple. It was just simple. Take a break, have fun with each other. So all the time growing up with the kids, I've always been looking for little ways that they can play in the house and have activities. And I feel like that's pretty connecting and rejuvenating. It helps you get moving, get out of the house when you're on a computer a lot or creating 100%. Content or just working hard.
And you're so much better at that than I am. I'm just like, okay, who's doing what? How much are you done? The dishes, why on your phone? And some of those things are important. I'm not saying you shouldn't have ground rules and stuff like that, but I love that Tara just likes to have fun sometimes. Let's just take a breather. Let's not talk about anything to do with business. And she's gotten a little more open. We're both working on ourselves in different ways. It used to really bother you sometimes when we're on a date and I'm talking about the business.
I don't want to hear about
it. You're so good at having fun and your family's really good at that too. Just making light of things and focusing on, what did you say today? You said focus on this before this.
As human beings, we prefer connection over correction. So if there's no connection, the correction goes out the window. Getting that connection before, as parents, we offer a lot of correction.
Usually the correction is so much easier if you have that connection, it seems like.
If they see that you see them and they trust you, then they're more open to that correction.
So here's the deal with the having fun part. At the end of the day, if Tara and I aren't connected, if we're not having fun in our life, if we're not playing, if we're not laughing, if we're not taking the time to take care of our health, which is not fun, not being healthy. And we enjoy working out.
We do. I love it.
It feels good. It's necessary. It's needed. So if we're not working out, if we're not taking care of our spirituality, our physicality, if you and I aren't connected, even this morning, we just took a minute. There's been a lot going on. Let's just take a moment. You got to take time for each other. You got to have fun. You got to take that time for your kids and your own mental health. To me, if we're not having fun doing it, what's going to happen?
You're going to get burnout and you're going to jump off the boat and you're going to run away screaming. And then you're going to be jaded. And then you're going to be retired at the age of 30, 40. Then you're going to be miserable and depressed. And then, not speaking from any experience.
And if that happens, then what are you not doing?
You're not having fun.
You're not helping people. And you're not making money, you're not making money, you're not helping people.
Yep.
So these things, they all play off of each other. For me, the business means nothing. I hate to say this, guys, but you guys mean something to me, right? But the business means nothing if we're not having fun. And that really helps when I get that email or that call or this person that I feel like I need to help and create the next program or the new podcast. Take a deep breath. Mm-hmm. Are we having fun? If we're not having fun, if we're feeling stressed, if we're not connected, if the things that are the most important to us, if those things aren't happening, then it's all for naught. What's the point? You always say the family doesn't support the business supports the family. Mm-hmm. And there's another quote by David O. McKay that no success can compensate for failure in the home. And you can elaborate that to say no success can compensate for failure of your health or failure of your mental health. I was talking about physical health, but your mind, failure of your mental health, or failure of relationships and loving those around you. This is like a good litmus test for me. Occasionally in my life, there have been times where we'll be on like a family group chat and I'll get some videos or pictures. And if I get frustrated or irritated by those, I'm trying to get something done. And people are like, where am I in my mind? If I don't have time to take a call or call my mom and see how she's doing, or my siblings, Stephen, my brother called me yesterday. We don't talk a ton. I was so excited that he called me. I stopped everything I was doing. Nothing else mattered. And so part of that having fun, I think for me, is also while we do like to talk on the podcast, we do like to be a part of the business. We love creating businesses for us in a way where they can operate without us. They don't always need us involved. Truth is, some days I feel better than others. Some days I feel different and I want to have that flexibility. Or some days I might have to go in for surgery or something else big in our life might happen. So I love having that team. I love having those systems, those processes. I love the business not fully depending on me or you. And or if anything ever happens to me or one of us, the business can keep going. If we ever decide we want to do something else or sell it, we can do that. And that's how we like to set up our businesses. Once again, I know I kind of went off on a tangent there, but that's all a part of having fun. They all play off of each other.
Keep in mind too, you might be listening to this and going, oh no, I'm not making money. Oh no, I'm not having fun. Oh no, I'm not helping people. Those are our three things. So whatever your three things are, don't freak out. Don't be like, oh, don't beat yourself up. It's just exposing the things that you want to work on. I love that we've reached some of our goals and that we had those times where we're like, oh, I'm not running a business. I'm depressed. It's not about the business and it's not about selling the business. It's about exposing us. If you're being exposed right now because you're not making money, you're not helping people, or you're not having fun, or you have too much of those things, you have too little of those things, great. Don't think something's wrong with you. You can't figure it out. It's great when you get exposed in life. Your kids will expose your flaws. Your spouse, the people you're in a relationship, they'll expose your flaws. Your business will do the same. And sometimes people really run away from that because it really hits their stuff. Some people have a lot of fears around finances and a lot of fears around putting themselves out there. And we're not saying go do a podcast. You can put yourself out there by washing someone's car and being like, oh, did I wash it right? Or, cutting someone's hair. Did I cut it right? Or just remember that when you hit those things where you get exposed, keep learning, keep growing. And if you push past those, that's really rewarding and really fun. Try not to beat yourself up, but great, man. Thank heavens that you reached those goals or you didn't, because that's just another opportunity for you to be free of yourself.
The thing is, you want to be in your genius zone. Being in your genius zone can be uncomfortable. For example, I'm not going to put myself out there by doing a bunch of paperwork that I don't have to do. You also want to grow. You want to make money. You want to do all these things. Part of having fun is growth, as we talked about. I was going to wrap it up, and we're going to wrap it up. You did make me think about something, just to give like another example of what somebody's non-negotiables or their high-level goals. We can think our son Brogan, 18 years old. What are you going to do with your life? I don't know that help people is top. It would help people, what he wants to do. But I would say for him, it is learn and grow and develop skills that will then allow him to help people make money. He's 18, so he's kind of at the spot where he's not going to college. But people who go to college, are they necessarily helping people and making money? No. They're spending money. They're helping themselves. They're trying to develop and learn. Brogan, being a young person who can stay with us for a while and doesn't need a ton of money tomorrow, but needs to develop some skills that he can make some money. His might be a little more like develop skills, try to figure out ways to make money and have fun doing it. And we've been talking about that because at first, I wanted to be working 60 to 80 hours a week. And I'm like, why? Why for? A lot of times we're trying to make money. How fast, how hard, how much? That's how we measure. This person reached this much money by this time. And that's cool, but why? If you reach those goals so that you can, that's when it makes the most sense. How many people have made tons of money and end up divorced? I'm not judging who's been divorced. I'm saying if that's what's led to unhappiness or disconnection or unfulfillment, what sacrifice? Just keep those things in mind. These things might be different for you based on your situation. What are your true goals? At the end of the day, you're going to have goals within those goals. We can't just walk around and say, help people make money, have fun doing it. You will not reach all those just by saying that. That's just kind of your backstop. Those are the things you want to look at when you feel a little bit off. And then from there, you can make any goals, go any direction you want. Cheshire Cat said, if you don't know where you're going, it doesn't matter what path you take. So you do want to have a path. You do want to have a goal. You do want to know how much money you want to make. You want to think about the things you love doing. What are you good at? Where do you want to focus? What do you want to learn? And head in that direction and make that money. Do those things. Live a great life. But these are just things to think about in the background, to keep in mind always, that can help you feel good about what you're doing while you're doing it. Live a great life. Any final thoughts, babe?
Final thoughts are, if you don't know what your 3 things are, take some action, get some experience, because these have changed and evolved over time. We didn't even know we had to have
100%.
Parameters that help us to stay balanced and healthy and sane and married. And so you kind of have to put yourself in a situation where you're pushing outside that comfort zone, and then you realize what matters to you. Either way you're learning, either way you're growing, keep going.
Every once in a while, just keep yourself in check. Why are you doing what you're doing? And ultimately, if you find yourself focusing more on the doing, it's not one or the other. It's how, not can you. How can you accomplish your goals, make money, help people, do the things you want, have fun, live a great life? How can you do all these things? Not can you, and how can they all work together? If you're married, how can you have a great marriage? Relationships, how can you have great relationships? And if you need to make money, you might be focused more on a service-based business, or you might even have a part-time job and you're trying to start your business on the side. It's all good. Enjoy the journey. You don't have to put in 100 hours a week, but sometimes you got to put in that effort. You know, with Brogan, we're like, okay, let's put in 40 hours a week. 40 hours a week, either into learning or running your business or working. You can do any one of those 3, but let's do 40 hours a week. And then he can kind of use his time accordingly. And the more he can focus on doing something that he loves trampolining, flipping. And so he's going to start teaching people how to do that online. I know 75% of the work he's doing, he doesn't love right now because he's trying to figure out how to build a website, but he's learning through that. He's going to learn these skills naturally as he's doing these things. So
we live in an insane time where so much great information, great people are out there. Making money is a vibe. Surround yourself with the right people who believe in it, who are doing it, because they're doing it every single day. It's very doable. It's not luck. Luck does come along. What are your non-negotiables? What do you want to do? Get out there.
You guys rock. You're amazing. Like Tara said before, we love you.
Yep.
We believe in you. You got this. We got some exciting things coming up in some future episodes. How to simplify building your money-making machine, which is what it comes down to. That's really what a business is. How do you put together the right system or process that works best for you that will also allow you to make $2 for every dollar you're spending and do that consistently, predictably over a long period of time at scale? Mm-hmm. That's what a business is. Tara and I were very confident that we could start any one of several 100 businesses and be successful at it because there are certain patterns you follow. I would bet my money anytime on a certain person based on their track record over someone having a random idea.
Amen.
10 people can have the exact same idea, and the person who's done it before in any industry, I know they're going to make it because people who are financially successful, unless it's inherited or whatever, but people who have started a business and grown a business and been successful at it, they're going to be able to 9 times out of 10 do it time and time and time again. Our goal is to help you know how you can do this. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe, hit follow. We got that and so much more amazing content coming up for you guys. If you like this episode, if you got some value out of it, if you think you might know someone who can get some value out of it, send them a text, share with a friend. Super easy. It could literally change the trajectory of their life and would appreciate it as well. Reach out to us for anything. If you guys have any questions at all, you can always hit us up, support@millionaireuniversity.com. And we're here to help you with anything you need, either on the podcast or we'll hit you back up. We read all our emails, at least at this point. Maybe someday we'll be able to. That's why we're getting assistance, right? Have a great one. Get out there, kick some booty. This is Justin
and Tara
signing off from our new studio in Vista, California. Until next time, class dismissed.